Okay guys, let's get 4.6 done. It's a little bit of a hard homework. What they've given us is 4 tables. 1, 2, 3, 4. They've given us 6 graphs labeled A, B, C, D, E, and F. Then they've given me 6 rules as well. I've got to match up these graphs with this table and then the rules with this table. So we've got to assign one of these graphs to this table and one of the rules to this table. So take a look at this. -2, 5. Well, to figure out if these graphs are right, you find -2, -5, you make a dot. Is that dot on this line? Then that's not it. Let me change this way. That one wasn't it. -2, -5. So -2, -5, that's not it. -2, -5, boom, landed right on that line. So that table 1 goes with C. So circle that, we can't use that again. Let's do all the graphs first. -2, 3. So x is -2, my y is 3. Bring your fingers together, so -2 and 3, that's definitely not on my line. -2 and 3, right there. So B is the graph for that one. 3, -2, -2. So we've already used that one. Let's try this one. -2, -2. Ooh, close, but not on it. Let's try this one. -2, -2. Nope. Let's try this one down here. -2, -2. Nope. -2, -2. Right there. So that one's F. You could try the last one on your own. Remember, there's going to be 2 extra graphs since they gave us 6. Now the rule, we've got to get from 0 to -1, 1 to 1, 2 to 3. So let's think about it. We're going up by 2 every time. So we know that it's going to be 2 times x and then plus or minus something. So we know it's going to be either J or L. Well, let's try it. If I put in a -2, I should get out a -5. So let's try this one first. If I put a -2 in for x, rewrite everything. When I put a -2 in, I should get -5 out if this is the right machine. I should get a -5 out. Let's see if we do. 2 times -2 is -4 minus 1. -4 minus 1 is -5, and so it works. Works for that one, but before we actually make that check mark, let's try it one more time because remember, if this machine works, it's got to work for all of them. So let's try the 1-1 combo. If I put a 1 into my machine, I should get a 1 out of it. So if I put a 1, oops, wrong one. If I put a 1 into my machine, so put a 1 where the x is, I should get out a 1. So I put a 1 into my machine, I should get a 1 out. Let's see if we do. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. 1's equal to 1, and -5 is equal to -5. So this rule, this table, goes with J. Let's do one more. So we know this one's done. Let's try this one. So we have to get from -2 to 3, -1 to 2, 0 to 1. So look how we're going down by 1 each time. If we're going down by 1 each time, I know that my x is going to be multiplied by my -1, and then I'm either going to add something or I'm going to subtract something. Well, let's see which one of these are multiplied by -1. No, no, no. Well, it doesn't look like any of them, but remember, there's an invisible 1 here. So I'm pretty sure that's the answer, but I want to double check. If I put a -2 into this machine, so I'm going to put a -2 in, I should get a 3 out. So let's see, -1 times -2 is +2. 2 plus 1 is 3, yep. Let's try one more. If I put a -1 in, I should get a 2 out. So if I put a -1 times something plus 1, if I put in a -1, I should get out a 2. See, if I put in -1, I should get out a 2. -1 times -1 is +1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Check, check. So this guy is G. Now that you know how to do it, you can do it on the rest on your own. Let's take a look at number 5. 6 and 7, actually. So they've given us a table, a graph, and a rule. They've given us one of these 3, and we've got to fill in all the blanks. So this one, they gave us the table. So let's make the graph next. If you notice, I have negative x's and negative y's. If I have negative x's and negative y's, I'm going to need all 4 quadrants. So let's go ahead and make all those quadrants. And you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8. Boy, it'd be nice if they were done for us, but remember, if we don't challenge our minds, then those dendrites and axons don't grow, and so we've got to challenge it, even though it hurts sometimes. So let's plot these points. Put your finger on x, the x-axis where it's negative 3. Now put your finger on the y-axis where it's negative 10, guess. And meet those 2 fingers up. This is negative 9, here's negative 10, right about there. Negative 1, negative 4. Put your finger on negative 1 for the x. Put your finger on negative 4 for the y. And match it up. You've got 0 for the x and negative 1 for the y. 1 of x and 2 on y. I like to use my fingers. 2 on the x-axis. Remember, this is the x, this is the y. So my x is going to be 2 and my y is 5. So I'm going to put my finger on x for 2, 5 for y, meet up, and they meet up right there. 4, 11 would be up there, something like that. And so your graph should look something like that. Now let's think about the rule for this. 0, 1, 2. So there's my x's went up by 1. So let's see what we went up by here. I went up by 3 here and 3 here. So I'm probably going to look like y is equal to 3x. Let's see if we have to figure out what are we plus or minus. If I put in a 4, I should get out an 11. So if I put in a 4, I should get out an 11. I'd have to subtract 1 because 12 minus 1 is 11. So your rule is y equals 3x minus 1. Let's double check one more time though. If I put in a 0, I should get negative 1. If I put in a 0, 0 times 3 is 0, minus 1, 0 minus 1 is negative 1, yes. Let's double check one more time. Let's put in a 2, 2 times 3 is 6, minus 1 is 5. I was supposed to get a 5, so I'm right. This guy, little bit different. Now they've given us the rule, and we've got to come up with the table. So let's go ahead and put in negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. If I put a negative 2 into this machine, if I put in a negative 2 right there, negative 10 times negative 2 is positive 20, plus 20 is 40. So I got out a 40. Let's take that same machine again. This time, let's put in negative 1. So if I put a negative 1 in, negative 10 times negative 1 is positive 10, plus 20 is 30. So I got out a 30. Take that same machine again, put in that 0. 0 times negative 10 is 0, plus 20 is 20, and so we get a 20. Do you see the pattern? 40, 30, 20, 10, 0, negative 10, negative 20. Notice how I have negative x's and negative y's. So I'm going to need all 4 quadrants. My x's are pretty easy. We're going to go by ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5. My y's, however, go by tens. So let's go by tens on the y's. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. negative 10, negative 20, negative 30, negative 40, negative 50. Let's plot those. 0, 20, make a dot. 1, 10, 2, 0, 3, negative 10, and 4, negative 20. Notice how the number in front of the x is a negative and our slope is negative. I wonder if that's a coincidence. All right, till part 2. Bye.